Hello, everyone, and welcome to LETS, Learning English Through Stories. My name is Dan. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about a trip to the airport. This is a story about a young woman named Alex. She's a bit nervous, but also very excited because she's going on her first trip alone. Her destination is London, a big and famous city. The story starts when Alex arrives at the airport. It is a big and busy place with many people. She has a large suitcase and a small bag. She needs to find the check-in counter for her airline, British Airways. She looks up at the signs. The signs have pictures and words on them. She sees a sign that says, British Airways check-in, and an arrow pointing to the left. She follows the sign and walks straight. Soon, she sees a line of people waiting. She finds the end of the line and waits. When it's her turn, a friendly person says, "Hello, may I see your passport, please?" Alex gives her passport to the woman. The woman looks at her computer and says, "Thank you, Alex. And do you have any luggage to check in today?" Alex says, "Yes, this one suitcase." She puts the suitcase on a small machine, a scale. The scale shows the weight of the suitcase. The woman says, 22 kilos. That's perfect. The limit is 23. Alex is happy. The woman gives Alex a long piece of paper. It is her boarding pass. The woman says, "Your gate is G12. Boarding starts at 9:30 a.m. Have a nice flight." Alex says, "Thank you very much." "Where is security?" The woman points and says, "Security is just around the corner to your left." Alex is now at the security area. It looks very different from the check-in area. There are many people taking off their things. There are clear plastic trays on a moving belt. Alex watches for a moment to understand what to do. A security officer says, "Next, please. Have your boarding pass ready and please remove all electronics from your bag." Alex remembers the rule. She takes her laptop out of her bag and puts it in a separate tray. The officer also says, "And any liquids in a clear plastic bag on top." Alex takes out a small clear bag with a few bottles in it and puts it on the belt. The officer then tells Alex, "Please take off your jacket, shoes, and anything from your pockets. Place them all in a bin." Alex takes off her shoes and her jacket and places them in a bin. She also checks her pockets for her keys and phone. She puts them in the bin too. Now, she's ready to walk through a special machine. The machine is a scanner. It uses technology to look for metal and other things that are not allowed on the plane. Alex walks through the scanner slowly. The machine makes a soft humming sound. Suddenly, it makes a little beep sound. The officer asks her to step aside for a quick check. This is very normal, and Alex knows this. The officer asks her to stand in a small booth and lift her arms up. They use a small handheld scanner. It beeps again, this time at her jeans. The officer finds a small metal button on her jeans. "All clear," the officer says. "Thank you for your cooperation." Alex feels relieved. She is ready to collect her bags. She waits for her trays to come out on the other side. She sees her laptop, her shoes, and her bag. She puts her shoes and jacket back on, packs her laptop, and walks away. Security is done. The next step is to find her gate. Alex is now past security. She feels a little bit better, but she still has a very important job to do. She needs to find her gate. Her boarding pass says Gate G12, but she doesn't know where that is. She looks around for a big screen. She knows these screens are her best friend at the airport. She finds a large flight information screen on the wall. She looks for her flight number, BA286, to London. She sees it on the screen. The screen shows her gate number is G12, and the boarding time is 9:30 a.m. The status of the flight is on time, which means the flight is not late. She checks the time on her phone. It's 8:30 a.m. She has about 1 hour before she needs to go to her gate. This is good news. She has time to relax. She looks around the airport. There are many cafes, restaurants, and shops. She feels a little bit hungry and thirsty. She decides to find a cafe. She walks for a few minutes and finds a cafe with comfortable chairs. She orders a small latte. The coffee shop is very busy, but she finds a free seat by the window. She sits down, sips her latte, and watches the planes outside. This is a moment of peace before the long flight. Soon, the time is 9:20 a.m. It is almost time to board. Alex gets up and starts walking towards her gate. She follows the signs that say Gates G. She walks past many people and shops. Finally, she sees the sign for Gate G12. There is a small line of people waiting. She joins the line. When it is her turn, a woman at a desk smiles at her. This person is called the gate agent. The gate agent asks for her boarding pass and passport. Alex gives them to her. The agent looks at them and scans the boarding pass with a special machine. The machine makes a beep sound. All set, the agent says. Your seat is 14A. You can go down the jet bridge. Alex takes her boarding pass and passport back. The jet bridge is a long walkway that connects the gate to the plane. Alex walks down the jet bridge and feels a little bit nervous again. She is so close to the plane. When she steps onto the plane, a flight attendant smiles and says, "Welcome aboard." Now she needs to find her seat. Her boarding pass says 14A. She knows that the seats are numbered. She walks past row 10, then row 11, then 12. She looks at the numbers above the seats. Finally, she finds row 14. She sees a man sitting in the seat next to hers. She smiles and says, "Excuse me, is this 14A?" The man looks up and says, "Yes, it is. Your seat is by the window." "Great. Thank you," she says. She needs to put her small bag, her carry-on luggage, in the overhead bin above the seats. She lifts her bag and puts it in the bin. The bin is the space above the seats where people put their luggage. It's a bit heavy, but she manages to put it in. She then finds her seat, sits down, and clicks her seat belt. She is ready for the flight. After a long flight, the plane has landed in London. Alex is a little tired, but also very happy to be in a new country. She gets off the plane and follows the signs. The signs say baggage claim and arrivals. The airport is very big, and there are many people walking in all directions. She walks and walks, and finally she finds a big room with many carousels. This is the baggage claim area. She looks for a big screen to find her flight number. She sees BA-86 and next to it. Carousel 7, she walks to Carousel 7 and waits. She watches as many suitcases go by. She sees suitcases of different colors and sizes. Finally, she sees her blue suitcase. She grabs it and puts it on the floor. Now, she has her bag. The next step is customs. She follows the signs that say customs and immigration. She sees two lines. One line is for people with a UK or European passport. The other line is for all other passports. She joins the second line. She waits for a few minutes. When it's her turn, a man in a uniform says, "Next, please." Alex walks to the desk. The man is the customs officer. He looks at her and says, "Good afternoon. Passport, please." Alex gives him her passport. The officer looks at her passport and asks her a few questions. The questions are very important. The first question he asks is, "What is the purpose of your visit to the UK? Business or pleasure?" This means, are you here for work or for a vacation? Alex smiles and says, "Pleasure." "I'm here for a vacation," the officer nods. His next question is, "How long will you be staying in the country?" This means, how many days or weeks will you stay? Alex replies, 2 weeks. The last question is the most important one. He asks, "Do you have anything to declare?" To declare means to tell the officer about certain items you are bringing into the country. These items can be special foods, large amounts of money, or gifts. Alex knows the rules for her trip, and she says, No, nothing to declare. Just personal belongings. The officer looks at her passport again and stamps it. He gives it back to her and says, "All right, everything looks fine. Welcome to the United Kingdom. Enjoy your stay." Alex says, "Thank you very much," and walks away. She has a big smile on her face. She has successfully completed her journey through the airport. She is now officially in London. She can't wait to see the city. This is the end of our story about Alex's journey. We hope it helps you feel more confident about your own trip to the airport. Knowing what to expect and what to say can make a big difference. Thank you for listening to LETS, Learning English Through Stories. We hope to see you in the next episode. Keep practicing and keep learning.